Hey, what's up, everybody? Super excited to be back here with you today. I am going to dive deep into a conversation and a question that I've been asked literally thousands of times. How do I sell thousands of my nonfiction books? Hey, I'm Ken. I used to be a homicide detective. I was a cop for over 15 years, and I got sick of it. When I found out I was going to become a dad, I needed to make a change. In the last 15 years, I've started 4 different businesses in 4 different industries, and they've made a lot of money. This channel is dedicated to showing people exactly how to build an 8-figure coaching business. Every single part of it. I love teaching people how to write books, how to get your books traditionally published, how to turn those books into 7-figure coaching businesses, and you're going to find all that information right here. All right. Glad to be back with you guys. We're going to have a really good conversation today about how do you actually sell your book. So as you guys know, I'm passionate about helping people to write amazing books and sell thousands of books and to beat the odds. And if you're interested in knowing the exact system that I've taught to over 3,000 authors that have wrote amazing books, hundreds of them have gone on to become New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and USA Today best-selling authors, and then how they actually sold millions of books collectively, then I want you to check out my free online masterclass. It's called basicsimplesystem.com. I put the link in the notes of this show. And also, I need to tell you that this is on my podcast, this show, and I'm going to talk you through how to actually sell your nonfiction books. But you might want to click on the link in the notes and check out the YouTube show, because I'm going to be using my whiteboard in this show and drawing it out for you. But the reality is, the biggest reason that most people fail when they're trying to sell books, it's because they just don't know how to do it, and they get overwhelmed by the idea of it. But let me give you some statistics, because this is a massive problem. And I have a feeling that hundreds of thousands of people will end up watching this video on YouTube because this issue is so bad. But here's the real statistics. And these stats are from a company called Bowker. Bowker is the book research agency in North America. And here's what Bowker's learned about nonfiction books. Every year in North America, so Canada, America, over 500,000 nonfiction books are published. Listen to this. 90% of them never sell 100 copies. That means there's a lot of people that don't know what I'm about to share with you. 90% of 500,000 is 450,000 people. Every year in Canada and America, they invest their blood, sweat, and tears in actually writing nonfiction books, because it's not easy. It's definitely not easy if you don't know my system, because if you go to that workshop I was just telling you about, you're going to learn how to write a best-selling book in less than 5 hours. And it's the exact strategy that the vast majority of New York Times best-selling authors use. So make sure you go to basicsimplesystem.com. But if you think about that, 450,000 people, like, they all worked really hard to write these books and to get them published. Blood, sweat, and tears and money went into it, and they failed. They never sold 100 copies. And I refuse to believe that any one of those authors actually started out the journey by saying, man, if I sell 100 copies, I'll be really happy. That'll content me. And you know what else Bowker found? They started researching these authors, and they found that the vast majority of them that failed, most of the 100 books that were purchased were friends and family. So they didn't know how to do it. Now, in the Basic Simple System workshop I told you about, I'm going to show you exactly how to write a best-selling nonfiction book. There's a specific strategy for it. I've studied over 1,000 New York Times best-selling books, and I saw exact systems, exact similarities in how the books were structured, how the book was actually written. So that's step one. A book's never going to become a best-selling book unless it's written so freaking well that somebody who doesn't know you is willing to recommend the book to somebody who doesn't know you. And so that's why you got to go watch. If you've never seen the Basic Simple System, the 5-hour writing workshop, how do you write a book in 5 hours? Then go to basicsimplesystem.com and, for gosh sakes, watch that training. I don't care if you join the Writing Madly community that I'm going to tell you about in the workshop. because this workshop's really different. I actually explain exactly how to structure the book because my passion is to stop. I want to change the odds. I want to turn it from 90% fail and never sell 100 copies to 90% of people sell more than 100 copies. And I'm only going to do that if I get millions of people to watch that workshop. So please watch it. Now, let's talk about selling books. There's a lot of misbeliefs. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of people that start speaking, like thinking negatively and start casting doubts on their own success right up front. I'll tell you the biggest challenge is when you look out into the world, there's somebody out there right now who's making millions of dollars, who's at the top of the game. We're talking level 10 expert, who's doing what you want to do. Now, that's the person you want to hire to actually help you get there. But the point is, they probably have a book already, and you've read that book. And so you desperately want to write a book. You know that you can write a book. It will help you to draw clients towards you. But you look at that person and you say, man, I'm never going to be as good as that person. I'm never going to be able to sell books. Who'd want to buy my book when they can buy their book? Okay, the first thing I want you to understand, because I'm about to draw it out for you. I'm going to share the whiteboard here and I'm going to draw it out for you. But before I do, there's something I need you to understand. Every book will be purchased. You just have to know how to get your book in front of the person that's looking for it. What I've found in my research is that people who buy books, self-help books, because they want to learn, they don't just buy one. I've researched and literally surveyed hundreds of thousands of people on my email list. And I've had over 55,000 respondents to this email survey that I send out. And what I ask them is, have you ever bought a book to learn a new skill? And 95% of them say yes. And then I ask them, did you buy one book? Did you buy two books? Or did you buy more than two books? And they all say more than two books. And then I ask them, listen to this. I say, I ask them to rate their buying habit around this topic that they buy books on, the thing they're trying to learn. And I said, do you buy one book a year, two books a year? Or then the third thing I say is, or do you buy every book you see on that topic? 87% of them actually choose the option that means every book on that topic. So what does that mean for you? That means the easiest way in the world for you to sell books is to go find the number one best-selling book in the world on your topic. Find the person who wrote that book, and I guarantee you, you can tap into their followers. You can tap into the people that already bought their book. Look at that. You're already like, oh shit, I never thought about that, right? That's just a little piece of what I'm about to show you when I show out the whiteboard. But here's what I want you to know. I've sold over 400,000 copies of my 5 books. And all I do when I launch the book, there's a whole strategy I'm going to draw out here for you. But here's the one thing I do. I know who the top 5 people are in the world in my niche that are writing books similar to mine. And I learned how to run paid ads. And so I create a book sales process that's wrapped around a sales funnel, which I'm going to draw out for you and show you. And when I run the ads, I target the people that already follow the guru. Good example is Tony Robbins. When I launched my last book, I targeted Tony Robbins. And my ad actually said, I know you bought Tony Robbins books, and I know you're trying to learn these skills. So here's the next book you should buy. And when they click on the link, magic starts to happen. Okay, let me share my screen. I'm going to draw this out for you. If you want to sell lots and lots of books, this is the exact process that you're going to want to follow. And it's just going to take a second to come up here. And now that I got this up, I got to pull up the whiteboard so you can see it. And here we go. Let's get a new screen. And there we are. Okay. Selling thousands of books. Step 1. Write an amazing book. You notice I'm not doing a video saying, how do you become a best-selling author? I'm not even going to bother to do that because, to be honest with you, most people that claim to be best-selling authors, it's bullshit. They're lying. What they actually do is there's a lot of freaking gurus out there, fake bastards. If you've been sucked into something like this, I want you to tell me about in the notes below. I give away free scholarships for my writing system for the craziest stories I hear. If somebody screwed you and convinced you, here's what they do. They tell you to write whatever you want in the book. And then when you publish the book, publish it yourself, and then put it into a category on Amazon where there's not a lot of good books, like the paleo diet category. Even though you might have a leadership book or a business book or a marketing book, put it in that category. And then you time it so that you get all your friends and family to buy the ebook. But listen to this. What they tell you to do is on the day of the launch at 10 o'clock in the morning, make the ebook zero, make it free. And then what you do is you get all your friends and family, you line it all up ahead of time. At 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, I want you guys to go grab the ebook. It's going to be free. But if you do it all at the same time, it'll put the book in the #1 spot. That's what they do, right? Because it's in an obscure category like paleo diets or whatever it is. And so if you get 10 or 15 of your friends to buy it for free, because you still got to put a credit card in, even though you're not paying anything, it puts it into the #1 spot because none of the other books are selling in that category. And that's what happens. And then you know what the gurus say? It's only going to be there for a couple minutes. So take a screenshot of it. And then you can call yourself an Amazon bestselling author. And if you can do that in Canada and America, then you can call yourself an international bestselling author. Here's what I've learned. Real bestselling authors like New York Times, Wall Street Journal, USA Today, they don't run around bragging that they're international bestselling authors. You know why? Because they're too busy out there helping people. People that are struggling for success, they're the ones that are saying that. And if you ask them, oh yeah, how much money did you make on your book? How many did you sell? Actually, you know what? Just leave them. Don't even bother to ask them. Don't shake them out of it. Let's just go find the assholes that are teaching these scams and let's expose them. Because the reality is step one in selling a lot of books is you got to write an amazing book. I have never seen a real best-selling book that became a best-selling book that wasn't a well-written book. So if you want to learn how to write a book the right way, go to the link in the notes and go watch my workshop, basicsimplesystem.com. I mean, you know, that's step one. You got to do it. Now, here's what happens next. Here's what I want you to do. The most important part of any book launch is one single URL. And I want you to buy it from GoDaddy. Shameless plug for GoDaddy. They should be sponsoring my show. I've told so many people to go buy their domains from there. It's just the easiest one to port and to move around if you need to. So if you can get the title of your book, if the title of your book's gone, add the word book to the end and say .com. Okay. If you write a book the right way, watch this for a second. Here's the way the book's going to be written. This is a little bit of what you're going to learn in the workshop. First, ask yourself, who is the book written for? Then ask yourself, what's the problem that I'm helping to solve? And then write out the journey you want to take them on. And like step 1, step 2, step 3, and the steps become your chapters. That's the way you do it. But go to the workshop because I'm going to give you all the details of what actually goes in there. But what you're going to do, what a lot of people don't realize is the outline of your book is also a content calendar. So you're going to use one single URL. And what you want to do is start posting regularly on social media. During the Basic Simple System workshop, I'm going to show you a system I call the auto content loop. It's a way that I can just do a couple videos a week and my virtual assistant turns them into YouTube shows, podcast shows. I'll just say PC. My blog writes them into blog articles, all these same posts, even goes live on social media for me and turns it into 300 to 400 posts a week. As soon as humanly possible. Try to do this up to a year before you launch the book. Start doing something like this. If you come to the Basic Simple System workshop, you're going to learn this. And every single post you put out, put that link in it. I'll tell you what to do it in a second, but just make sure that link is above the fold in your post right there. Put that link in everything you do. When I launched my last book, I started using the link in my social media posts 1 year before, and we do 500 posts a week. Do the math on that. There were hundreds of thousands of posts with that link on it all over the internet. Now, we're talking a year before. So what do you do a year before? Okay, so what you do, the first funnel you're going to build is I call it an awareness funnel. And if you guys come to the Basic Simple System workshop, I give you the funnels and everything. What's an awareness funnel? It's really simple. It's a simple funnel where you got the title of the book. You get a little trailer video made, 30-second trailer video that says coming soon, talks about what the book is about. And then there's an opt-in. And on the page, it says, if you opt in and join our wait list, you're going to be the first person to know about our program, where we're going to build an online course that we're going to sell for $997, and we're going to give it to anybody who buys the book. And people start joining the list. If you do this right, and you start doing this a year before, and you have this simple little page right here, what happens on the next page? After they opt in, you bring them to a second page, and there's a little thank you video from you and a button where you invite them to join a special Facebook group. And do yourself a favor and create the Facebook group around the name of your book. Call it the same thing and make sure your book title calls out the problem, right? So once you got that Facebook group going, all those people are joining the group. Let them do whatever they want in there. But then you tell your virtual assistant, when she goes live, all she's going to be doing is playing this video you created, which is all content about the book. Tell them to make sure that live video also goes in here. So now everybody in the Facebook group thinks you're live every day in there and helping them, but it's all done. And that link is right there. When I launched my last book, I had 18,000 people on my email list and 7,000 people in my Facebook group. The first day when the book launched, I had 3,000 sales because I marketed to this group and this group, and they were all free. And basically, most of these people in this Facebook group were warmed up, and I was constantly in there talking about the book is coming, the book is coming, the book is coming. But that's only the start. Here's what you're going to do next. You're going to keep doing this until 2 months before the launch of your book. Why 2 months before? It's because if you get a good publisher, your publisher will have your pre-sales pages live in all the bookstores, websites, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, 2 months before the launch. Oh, by the way, a good publisher is a traditional publisher. If you're self-publishing, it's because you don't know how to get a traditional publishing deal. And I teach that too in the workshop. I own a traditional publishing company called Helping People Press. Anybody who writes books using my Writing Madly system, I know the quality of the book is so high. I know it's so high that I give them traditional publishing deals, and I get their book into every bookstore in North America. And then we watch your book sales for the first year in North America. And if the sales are really good, I'll take your book to the International Rights Show in Germany, and we'll sell your book in foreign countries and really blow it up. So we're going to have your book ready 2 months before the launch. So what you're going to do, check this out. What I want you to do is to build, after you write your book, whoever your publisher is, while your publisher is publishing the book. Yeah, I just got to tell you, traditional publishing, what that means is you don't have to pay for it, but you still own the rights to it, and it's guaranteed to be in bookstores. And they have great training systems to help you sell books. Self-publishing, they're going to charge you for it, and you end up spending way too much money and you never get the support. I guarantee you this video is going to get a ton of feedback. And if you watch this video and you got screwed by a self-publishing company, or if they promised you things that didn't happen, I want you to tell me about it. You have to say their name but I want you to tell me about it in there. And then I want you to go to the basicsimplesystem.com workshop, because during that workshop, I'm going to show you how to write the book. I'm going to show you how to sell the book. And I'm also going to tell you how my traditional publishing company works and how I will publish it for you and not charge you anything, but it's a traditional deal. So it's maximum distribution and you can say you're traditionally published. I even give advances to the authors. All right, 2 months before, pre-sales campaign. Here's what happens. What you're going to do is you're going to build a sales funnel. You're going to build a little online course. And it's not hard to do. You just take the chapters in your book and the chapters become the modules. So you're going to build a little online course. Then you're going to build a sales funnel. And on the front page of the sales funnel, you're going to be holding a mock copy of your book. And you're going to say, I'm so excited. The book is launching. We're in the pre-sales phase right now. And I have a very special offer for you. I built an online course called XYZ, and it's the course that tells you how to do ABC. And if you buy the book right now in the pre-sales campaign, I'm going to give you immediate lifetime access to our online course, which we're going to sell for $997. So what happens is then you say, all you have to do is put the email in, all the details are on the next page. So they go to the next page and there's a little video of you that says, okay, below this video, there are buttons to all of the major online stores to my book. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Indigo in Canada, Books A Million, wherever you want. And you tell them, okay, all I want you to do is click on the button and go buy the book of your choice from the store of your choice. And then you're going to come back here and below there's a little input box where you're going to type your order confirmation number in there and hit submit. And then our system is going to verify that you did make the purchase. And we're going to send you, then once we verify your purchase, we're going to send you to another page where you get access to the online course. So then what happens is after they submit, they get sent to a holding page. And it says on the page, don't close this because we're verifying. There's a little countdown timer going on there. And the system, if you guys work with my publishing company, I give you this, by the way. So the verification process and everything, it's all set up. It's really easy to do. It's because we have access to all the platforms and we just tie them together through an API. But after it verifies, it brings them to a page. It says, thanks for your order. Click here to get into the online course. Now, friends, this works. Here's what I want you to know. In the 2-month pre-sales window, on all the stores, it says, if you buy the book now, your credit card will be charged on X date, on the launch date, which is like September, whatever. Let's say September 10th. On September 10th at 10 in the morning, your credit card is going to be charged. So then once you have this set up 2 months before, you just drive as much traffic as humanly possible with that. Now, I'm not talking about just running Facebook ads, because by then you've got thousands of people in your Facebook group and you've got 18,000 people on your email list or whatever it is, but you just drive them all here and you just put together a strategy to do that. If anybody who's followed my strategy and you start doing the organic content loop a year before, this always sells at least 1,000 books on the launch day. And even if you're brand new, and even if you only sell 500 books on the launch day, would you be happy? You just have to be organized and put this together. And in the basic simple system workshop, I show you exactly how to do this. You just got to click on that link. And what else do I want to tell you about this? Okay, remember how I said in the post, you're going to be using that same URL. Well, what I love about this is you can move the URL. So when you first get started, you're going to have that little opt-in where they go into the Facebook group and the URL is going to be on that. When you get into the 2-month window, all you do is you take that URL and you move it from here down to here. Same URL. So everybody that clicks on those thousands of social media posts comes to here. And then the next step is the actual launch. All you have to do is change the videos right here. So you say, my book is launching. I'm so excited. Buy the book and do this. Let's talk about best-selling status, by the way. Amazon, if you get 1,000 books purchased and they all get processed at 10 a.m. on September the 10th in the real book category, guess what happens for you? You make a boatload of money, but your book shoots up to the real #1 spot. Now, if you have several bookstores, which you'll only have if you have a traditional publisher, by the way, that's why it's so important. My publishing company is called Helping People Press, and I'm here to help you as long as you're here to help people. That's what it comes down to. But if you want to become a Wall Street Journal bestselling author, all you have to do is hold the #1 spot on Amazon for at least 2 or 3 days. If you use this system, that will happen. If you want to become a USA Today or even a New York Times bestselling author, all that means is you got to be in the top 10 in the country. And the way New York Times works is it just literally gets reported data coming back to it from all the different bookstores. And New York Times says to be a real New York Times bestselling author, you just have to have sales coming from at least 4 stores, and no more than 20% of the sales can come from Amazon. 4 different systems, basically. And so there you go. That's exactly how you sell lots of books. So then it's not about how do I sell the books because you've got this funnel set up. It's all about traffic. It's how do you get people into it? That's why doing the social media content posting as soon as possible is like super important. And then the next thing you do, and I teach everybody who joins our Writing Madly system, is 3 months before you just start doing podcast interviews. And I've got a database. I'll show you how to get access to a list of 10,000 podcasters who are always looking for guests. You just choose the ones that are in a niche. You arrange to be on the shows and you do it a month before. So your podcasts are all being aired while the book is launching, drives even more traffic. Why? Because it's always the same URL. Then you just get out there and you start doing it. You start doing speaking. You start just focus on driving traffic to that one link. And then later on, after everything calms down and you've started selling a bunch of books and you want to launch a free plus shipping offer, then you just port that same URL again. So there's the growth of all of the posting on social media keeps driving traffic for the long term. That, my friends, is how you sell thousands of books. And it's worked hundreds, thousands of times for authors I've taught already. And I want to help you. If you've enjoyed this, I want you to click on that link, basicsimplesystem.com. It's in the notes, and come and join me in the live masterclass. And I'll give you all the details. And hopefully in that process, I'll build trust with you and you'll let me take you on this journey.